UWP Mobilization officer Nancy Charles criticized the government during a local talk show, alleging that the reconstruction of the custody suites was driven by political motives. She claimed that the suites had been destroyed by opposition leader Alan Chastney and his previous administration, referencing the destruction of the Sufra Bridge amidst pressure from the Labour Party. Charles argued that Chastney's actions, which caused significant traffic disruptions, may have been intentional, implying they served a political purpose. She further stated that in a similar vein, the old building was demolished because it was used for the punishment of citizens by police officers.
When police officers had personal vendettas against certain people, they will pick them and they say, Nafuto custody suite. You know why? Because that was a hellhole for St. Lucian. Rat infested, cockroach infested, no toilet facility, buckets there, etc., smelling. And when I heard the Prime Minister say that police officers are supposed to work in a conducive environment, do you think, Mr. Prime Minister, that custody suite at the time was a conducive environment for police officers to work in?
Charles explained that authorities would send officers disliked by superiors to work at the custody suites, citing the extreme working conditions there. She criticized the government's development efforts, asserting that aside from prisons and police stations, such as the newly rebuilt custody suites, they have little to show for progress. She emphasized that this reflects the government's mindset. Charles also pointed out that the government spent approximately $14 million over the past 4 years on the custody suites, which she described as a vendetta, noting that the facility only has 8 holding cells.
Are you aware of that, St. Lucia? To build 8 holding cells. All right? Just so you know. Over 14, I'll get the correct amount one of these days. I'll send it to you, Andre, and I just don't want to say. But I know it's over $14 million because the cost was exaggerated. The initial cost was supposed to be $4 million or something, Andre, and all of a sudden it boomed. And up to now, maybe that's a question that we can ask when we have meet the minister. How did the cost of custody suite, and do we think that it was worth in value? Taking over $14 million and taking all these millions of dollars.
Later, she was asked whether there was an injunction on the custody suites at the time the UWP had the building demolished. Charles, who previously served as a representative for the UWP and the board of the National Trust, stated that she was unsure of the court's decision but confirmed an injunction had been filed.
I recalled the day I was down south when I got the call that the chairman of the board of the National Trust had applied to the court to file an injunction to stop the demolition of the custody suites, etc. I don't know, and I don't want to say yes or no as to whether the court had given the injunction or not, but I do know that the demolition of the custody suite had started, was almost near completion or something like that.
The UWP member concluded by criticizing the SLP government celebration of the custody suites, reiterating her view that it was a hellhole for the people of St. Lucia. Kayla Edwin, MBC Prime.